Good morning and welcome to the sports show featuring Jay and Nate. I'm your co-host, Jay Kim.
I'm Nate Earl. This is the afternoon, not the morning.
And today, we're going to be talking about the Olympics. Today is Friday, and as you know, that means the opening ceremony for the Olympics starts tonight.
Yeah, and I'm so stoked. I'm one of the biggest Olympic fans out there. I love just watching, especially the swimming and track and field. Definitely the best two sports to watch.
And seeing as how we're a sports podcast,
and since the Olympics only comes on every 4 years, with summer ones, 2 years with the winter. But this is the only one that matters, in my opinion. We decided to do a podcast just previewing the Olympics a little bit.
So, obviously we can't cover every single sport in the Olympics. There's like 200.
It's more like 26, 27. But yeah, there's a lot of sports.
So we're going to be focusing on 5 different sports. Track and field, specifically short distance running, I guess it's called.
We're only just gonna sprinting. We're basically just gonna focus on the 100 and the 200, mainly the 100, because that's where all the big stars run at. So yeah.
Gymnastics. Gymnastics got really popular in 2008 for some reason. And it might not be as popular this time. And depending on how much press it gets, we might cover less of it, or we might cover more.
Right.
Swimming, obviously, Michael Phelps hypes that sport up a lot.
Versus Ryan Lochte.
And then tennis, because we're pretty big tennis fans. And basketball, because Dream Team. And even though basketball hasn't been as popular, like publicity as it used to be, publicly as it used to, I still think basketball gets a pretty good amount of hype.
Yeah, and even though we're definitely going to win the gold, we're going to crush everyone by 20 points on the way. We still have to cover it just to cover it.
All right, so we're going to talk about first. Today we're just going to talk about some of the expectations, some of the stuff going into the Olympics, what to expect, and all that stuff. So you can watch and you can talk to people and be like, hey, I know about the Olympics because I listen to a sports show featuring Jay and Nate.
Right, yeah. I guess we'll just start off.
Michael Phelps versus
Ryan Lochte. This is probably the biggest inter-country rivalry, in my opinion, currently happening in the Olympics. These two guys have just been going at it. Michael Phelps hasn't been as good as he used to be. He's kind of been on not this year, but the last 2 years before this year, he hasn't been swimming as fast of times as he used to.
And really, after the 2008 Olympics, he kind of stopped training for a little bit, and he admitted that he wasn't as in good shape as he should be.
Exactly, he's out there doing drugs.
No, he wasn't.
Out there doing drugs, being selfish on his body and all that stuff. So Michael Phelps has talked about, he hasn't really been he hasn't had the same drive to swim as he used to, and that's not his fault. He's been to 4 Olympics, including London now. He's been there since the 2000 Sydney Olympics, so I don't fault him on that. But if he's going to be in these London Olympics, he needs to make sure he's in tip-top shape, especially because Ryan Lochte's right on his heels.
And he kind of punished his body in the 2008 Olympics, going the 8 events. 8
events, right?
And he swore never to do 8 events again. I think a lot of people were kind of shocked.
Instead, he decided to do 7. Okay.
I think a lot of people were shocked that he chose to do 7. I think people were expecting him to do a lot less. In an interview once, he said that he here's the direct quote. Phelps said, "I keep saying I want to go down and start sprinting, but Bob really isn't so keen on that. I don't think that's going to happen. Over the next 4 years, I'd like to try some different events. Maybe not do some of the events I did here." So, from just hearing that, it definitely sounds like Michael Phelps is trying to stay relevant for a while.
Yeah, and actually, Michael Phelps does have the American record for the 100-meter freestyle. So he did try some quicker events and faster events, but that's not where his bread and butter is. It's definitely on the butterfly, the 100 and 200 butterfly, which he's swimming in, the 200 and the 400 individual medley, which he's also swimming in, even though he swore he wasn't doing the 400 individual medley last Olympics. and he's also doing 3 relays on top of that. So yeah, Michael Phelps, his schedule is pretty much the same. He only dropped the 200-meter freestyle, and yeah, he's I think he's probably favored, not favored, not in the medleys, but in the butterflies definitely favored in both of those, and in the relays, of course, Team USA is the favorite in those two.
And on the other side, we have Ryan Lochte. In the 2008 Summer Olympics, he wasn't as prominent. Michael Phelps had most of the swimming hype then because he was trying to get the 8 medals, trying to break the record. He only had 3 different events in the 2008 Olympics.
Who did?
Ryan Lochte.
Oh, okay.
He qualified 3 individual events. I think the 200-meter freestyle, the 200-meter freestyle relay, and the 400-meter individual medley. So, and he got bronze overall, I believe, in the 2008 Olympics.
Yeah, no, I mean, Ryan Lochte, I'm pretty sure he actually swam the 200 IM and the 400 IM, but I think he got 3rd in both of those. He got the bronze. He lost to Laszlo Shea. Yeah, I forgot what country he's from, but he lost to Laszlo Shea and Michael Phelps in both IMs, and yeah. So I mean, he's always kind of been living in the shadow of Michael Phelps. So he's definitely stepped up his work ethic. I saw something on Outside the Lines on ESPN about Ryan Lochte and how he's doing, like, some crazy weight training. He's just stronger and more explosive now than he's ever used to be. So yeah, Ryan Lochte's definitely right on Michael Phelps' heels.
Incidentally, it's kind of easy to look at Ryan Lochte and say he would be the younger person. He's just recently getting to the Olympics. They're actually both the same age.
Yeah.
Lochte's actually a little bit older than Phelps.
Right.
Not by much. But Phelps definitely is a lot older in the sense that he started his Olympic career earlier. He started his swimming career a lot earlier than Lochte, I guess, in a competitive sense.
Right. And Ryan Lochte actually did win a gold medal in the 2008 Olympics. He actually won the 200-meter backstroke, beating Aaron Pearsall when Pearsall had the stranglehold in the backstroke events. And so, I mean, definitely Ryan Lochte, I would say he's probably the slight favorite right now in the 200 and 400 IM, just because he's actually got the record for the 200. Michael Phelps has the record for the 400, but and he actually beat Michael Phelps in the 400-meter IM in the U.S. Olympic trials. So he's got all the momentum. He's beaten him more than once, and I think Phelps isn't going to get straight golds. I'd be surprised if he does. I want him to because I'm rooting for him, but I think Lochte is going to at least take one of those IMs away from him, to be honest.
Especially like in the last 4 years since the 2008 Olympics, Lochte has been getting a lot more press than Phelps, at least positive press than Phelps, I believe. Right.
I mean, just Lochte's even Phelps' coach Bob Bowman, I think is his name. His coaches even said that in 2010 and 2011 that Ryan Lochte has been the best swimmer those 2 years. So if Michael Phelps' own coach is saying that Lochte's been the best swimmer the past couple of years, I think there's no doubt that heading into the Olympics, Lochte is going to be the favorite in a couple of events. Even though Phelps is coming straight back, really hard. He's been working this whole entire year. So yeah, it's going to be close.
So that's going to be really exciting to watch.
Definitely.
You know what else is going to be exciting to watch?
Yeah.
The 100-meter dash.
Definitely. We got it's all going to be about these 4 men, 2 Americans, Tyson Gay and Justin Gatlin, and the 2 crazy fast Jamaicans, Usain Bolt and Johan Blake, who isn't very well known. Johan Blake isn't, but he's coming.
Even though Johan Blake beat Usain Bolt in the tryouts.
Right. Johan Blake beat Usain Bolt in the Jamaican Olympic trials in the 100 and the 200. He beats Usain Bolt with a time of 9.75 in the 100, with Usain Bolt's 9.86, and the 200 he beats Usain Bolt with a 19.8, and Usain Bolt had 19.83. So
though in one of those races, and I can't remember which one right now, Usain Bolt came off the blocks really badly.
Right. Yeah, the media's, not just the media, but Usain Bolt also said that he came out really slow in the 100-meter dash finals for the Olympic trials, which was true. He was probably maybe a little nervous just to not to false start, because you all know the rule that if one false start and you're disqualified. It used to be you got 2 false starts, and the second false start you're out. But for some reason they stupidly changed that rule, and so. Maybe he was, trying to be more safe. We'll see. He isn't as good as he used to be, I don't think. In 2008, 2009, he was just ridiculous, breaking world records, like nonchalantly, like it's nobody else's business.
I mean, everyone remembers in the Olympics when he broke the record, and he wasn't even running his hardest entire race.
He was celebrating half the race. So, yeah, and for him to also beat Michael Johnson's 200-meter record that was there for 12 years before Usain Bolt beat it in the Olympics, that was huge. But let's talk about these Olympics. Obviously, I would definitely say the Jamaicans are the favorites over the Americans right now. Tyson Gay is coming off an injury. He's a lot better. He's probably I'd say 100% healthy now, but he needs more race time.
And coming back from an injury is always hard, no matter what sport you're doing.
Definitely. And also, speaking of actually not injuries, Justin Gatlin is also coming back for the U.S. And if y'all remember, if y'all remember this, Justin Gatlin actually won the 100-meter dash in the 2004 Athens Olympics with a time of 9.85. And but he was caught, or I don't know, caught's the right word, but he was charged with doping in 2006, so he actually had a 4-year ban. He came back in 2010, slowly moved up in times, or I guess moved down in times, and he actually won the U.S. Olympic trials for the 100-meter dash in a time of 9.80. So and actually beat Tyson Gay, who got second with 9.86. So I would say that Justin Gatlin, even though he's coming back, I would say he's probably the least. He'd probably get 4th in a race of these 3. Tyson Gay, he's got the American record 9.68. So I feel like he probably beat Justin Gatlin in the Olympics, to be honest.
And what's kind of interesting is as Americans we would of course know Tyson Gay and Justin Gatlin, but even Jamaican people didn't really know who Usain Bolt and Johan Blake was. Usain Bolt really came out in 2008. In 2007, he won a silver, and he said that's really what motivated him to start running more and taking it more competitively. And Johan Blake, really, I don't think anyone's heard of him until he beat Usain Bolt this year at the tryouts.
Well, actually, it was last year when Johan Blake really started to make some big noise in the 2011 World Championships, which are held every 2 years on odd years. Johan Blake actually ran 19.26 in the 200-meter dash, which is second best all time. Usain Bolt has 19.19 as a world record. So he really stormed into the scene with that. And so it was really last year that Johan Blake really came onto the scene. And as far as what I just want to talk about, who I think has the best chance to win this 100-meter dash. No athlete has ever repeated winning the 100 and the 200 again, which is what Usain Bolt is facing in these Olympics. So it's going to be tough for him. But I think he's going to at least pull out one of these races. Not pull out as in leave the race, but he's going to get one of these races, the 100 or the 200. I just think it's going to be too tough for him to get both, because with Johan Blake in the 200 and with Blake and the 2 Americans in the 100, I just think it's going to be way too hard for him to consistently beat these racers.
All right, and next on our topic, we're talking about gymnastics, and we're just briefly talking about the 2008 Olympics in Beijing had a lot of hype around the gymnastics. There was Shawn Johnson became a national celebrity. Even Nastia Lukin, she kind of became a celebrity too. Then there was the whole 2008 Chinese gymnast controversy that they were too young. And really just gymnastics really seemed to break out that year. I've never really seen gymnastics on being played so much before.
Right, and to be honest, I have no idea who's even in our gymnastics team right now, but I will once we start talking about it and we start to see some of the competition. But all I know is that Nastia Lukin didn't make it this year. I saw some of her in the tryouts, and that was really disappointing because she's gotten all these sponsors. Everyone expected her to make it, and she's the reigning all-around champion. Also, Sean Johnson, who got second in the all-around event, isn't here either because she just didn't feel like it, or maybe, I don't know, she was injured, but she didn't want to compete. So that's gonna be too bad. But I have heard we have a really good group this year.
With those two, not competing in the Olympics this year, that's why we said we're not quite sure if we're gonna be covering the gymnastics more or less. Sean Johnson really was the face of the Olympics last year, the gymnast Olympics, I should say.
Right.
And with her not going to be competing, it might not get as much press coverage. So, and actually, she retired.
She retired. That's
from
why.
Gymnastics.
Yeah. She probably just
From
lost
her left knee. She had a left knee injury.
Okay.
And she retired. She's only 20 years old, and she's talking about retirement. That's crazy.
I mean, the gymnastics is a very one Olympic sport, or one Olympic sport. You go in when you're in your kind of like mid to late teens, and usually you might go into another Olympics after that, but after that it's over. Usually gymnastics don't really go past their mid 20s. So next sport.
So we'll see how much we cover gymnastics this year goes. And finally, we're talking about expectations.
Well, you want to talk about the other two sports real quick, or is it other two sports?
I just have expectations here.
Okay.
Well, I guess let's just talk about basketball real fast.
All right. Obviously, we're gonna win the gold. That's all I'm really gonna say about it. Also, that Spain is really good because you got Marcus Gasol, Pau Gasol. Ricky Rubio isn't playing, I don't think, but he would have been a factor. They also got Jose Calderon. So and Spain has what the Americans don't have, and that's size up front. And all we have is really Tyson Chandler and Anthony Davis, who's only a rookie. So,
but what we lack in size, we gain in speed.
Yeah, speed and athleticism, which is easily what we have with LeBron James. We got LeBron James, we got Kobe Bryant, we got Chris Paul, we got Kevin Durant. I mean, we got all those boys. So I don't know why we wouldn't lose this game if we have all those NBA stars. You don't have to tell me we have the best NBA players in the world or the best basketball players in the world. So we're going to win the gold for that, especially. And real quick with tennis, obviously Rafael Nadal isn't going to be here, or isn't going to be participating. So I think he's injured or something. So he's the defending Olympic champion. So it's going to be huge not having him there. But I think it's going to be either Roger Federer to finally pull one out, or it's going to be Novak Djokovic, who's playing lights out. So we'll see what happens there. But actually, the Olympics have been known. The tennis Olympics or whatever have been known to produce more unknown winners. I know in 2004, even when Federer was dominating, he wasn't able to pull gold out. I think it was like Thomas, or it was maybe Thomas Berdych. I forgot who won. Mario Ančić, I think, one of them, who won the gold for that year. So
see, I mean, we don't even know the name of the guy who won gold.
Yeah, I just have an idea. Nadal was actually one of the first ones that, obviously who Nadal is. So no surprise there with him though. Why do you think
that is though? I mean,
I don't know. I feel like maybe they just don't feel like it's as competitive. Maybe that's could be wrong easily, but maybe they don't view it the same as they view like a Grand Slam, where I feel like it's definitely more pressure to play. Whereas the Olympics, if you lose, you don't win a medal, but like
you keep your ranking.
Well, actually, no. The Olympics, they do award points though. Actually, you would keep your ranking if you lost, but if you won, you would gain points.
Okay.
So, yeah. Who do you think is the favorites to win the gold for tennis?
I want to say Djokovic or Federer. Murray might step it up. I mean, he obviously has something to prove now because after losing the Wimbledon.
Right, and this would be a second chance for Murray. London, Wimbledon again. So,
I mean, hopefully Murray is able to pull one out. But honestly, I think either Roger Federer or Djokovic. But hopefully Murray will pull one out. He's been wanting to have the home court advantage for a while.
all right. What was it?
That was it.
Okay. Expectations now, I guess. Just real quick.
Yeah,
we kind of talked about that
throughout. So, I guess that's the end of this podcast.
Yeah, thank you for watching the sports show featuring Jay and Nate. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jay.